Here at NuWave Industries, we've come up with a new process to do well abandonments. We use an eco-friendly mixture of water and sand to eliminate any hazards to the environment.
We've worked in the patch for 20-some years. We wanted a clean, safe way to cut wellheads. We figured water would be the best way. So we harnessed the power of water to cut the wellheads today. They phoned Tim, and Tim came up with the idea one night and started researching it, and we went from there.
Here at NuWave, we are proud to bring our new technology to the industry, as safety and environment is our #1 priority. Besides our wellhead technology, our clients expressed a need for a cutting tool to abandon pipeline risers and pilings. We've developed a tool that goes down to 2-inch and allows us to abandon and seal.
The Christmas tree system is removed from a 14-inch wellhead connection on site. After the removal, NuWave prepares the subsurface wellhead cutter and lowers it into the casing bore at a standard depth of 2.5 meters, or 8 feet, or to the client's preference. The centralizing tool is activated to ensure that the cutting head is centered within the casing bore. All hoses are hooked up to the cutting tool. Pressure is then built up to 42,500 psi. Once at full pressure, the cutting begins. A full steady stream is applied first to penetrate the casing, and then a rotation of 360 degrees happens, severing the casing. The cutting time on a standard 5.5-inch casing takes approximately 30 minutes. Once cutting has completed, the subsurface wellhead cutter is rigged out of the well bore. Using the backhoe loader, the well casing is hoisted from the ground, and then the previously prepped centralizer with a cap or API plate is lowered into the production casing. The rod is broken off, securing the cap in place, and then the hole is filled, leaving no trace of the process. NuWave prepares a plug and tag, lowers it into a 4-inch pipeline to the first 45 or 90-degree bend below the surface, and secures it into place. The cutting tool is lowered into the pipe 1 inch away from the plug. All hoses are hooked up to the cutting tool, and pressure is then built up to 42,500 psi. Once at full pressure, the cutting begins. A full steady stream is applied, first to penetrate the pipe, and then a rotation of 360 degrees happens, severing the pipeline. Cutting time on a standard 4-inch pipe takes approximately 10 minutes. Once cutting has completed, the plug and cutting tools are removed from the pipe. The riser is then pulled up from the ground by the backhoe loader, leaving only a 4-inch hole, which is then filled, leaving no trace of the process. NuWave's flange bolt cutting tool is rigged around the wellhead, rotating horizontally in a 360-degree motion, severing all the seized wellhead bolts in one pass or individually, which will allow for the removal of the Christmas tree. If the tubing hanger rams inside the wellhead flange are seized, NuWave then repositions the tool to a 90-degree angle, making a vertical cut inside the flange, severing the tubing hanger rams. Once the tubing hanger rams are removed, the tubing hanger can be pulled out, providing access to complete the abandonment process. Once the abandonment is completed, NuWave prepares its subsurface wellhead cutter and lowers it into the wellhead at a standard depth of 2.5 meters, or 8 feet, or to the client's preference. The centralizing tool is activated to ensure that the cutting head is centered within the wellhead. All hoses are hooked up to the cutting tool. Once at full pressure, the cutting begins. A full steady stream is applied first to penetrate the casing, and then a rotation of 360 degrees happens, severing the casing. The cutting time on a standard 5.5-inch casing takes approximately 30 minutes. Once cutting has completed, the subsurface wellhead cutter is rigged out of the well bore. Using the backhoe loader, the well casing is hoisted from the ground. NuWave's welded capping system tool is then lowered to secure the API plate or cap in place. Once the welds have been placed, the welded capping system tool is pulled out, and then the hole is filled, leaving no trace of the process. Upon NuWave's arrival on site, a platform and crane are assembled from the back of the truck, and the cutting tool is prepared. The tool is attached to a flexible bundle of hoses held to a cable that controls and positions the tooling. The cutting tool is then lowered into the wellbore, up to a depth of 1,000 feet, and the cut is made with a 360-degree rotation of high-pressure water. When the first cut is complete, the cutting tool can be pulled up in increments to create multiple cuts as needed at the client's discretion. The top section of the pipe is then removed, the remaining pieces left for later excavation. A centralizer cap is lowered to the point of the shallowest cut and set in place. The remaining hole is filled with dirt, leaving no trace of the process. Upon NuWave's arrival on site, the ground is excavated to expose the pipeline just before the body of water. The pipeline is cold cut, and a section of pipe is removed from the line. The excavation is sloped to allow for the rigging in of the tooling into the pipeline. A platform and crane are assembled from the back of the truck, and a centralizing plug is prepared. The plug is then fed through the pipeline to the edge of the other side of the body of water, where the plug is set at the desired location in the pipeline. Once the plug is secured, the plug setting tool is retracted and the cutting tool is prepared and fed through the pipeline, up to the location of where the plug was set. The cutting tool makes a cut with a 360-degree rotation of high-pressure water. When the cut is complete, the cutting tool is retracted from the pipeline. The cut section of pipe is then pulled through the excavation by a winch tractor or hydraulic excavator, and then the hole is backfilled, leaving no trace of the process.